Good afternoon. I bring this Ways and Means Committee to order. Deanne, will you take roll, please?
Eric?
Excused.
Lutz?
Here.
Krieger?
Excused.
McGill?
Here.
Coonan?
Excused.
Ryder?
Here.
Duranzik?
Here.
Warren? Present.
And a lot of excuses otherwise. Okay. Before you have minutes of 3-5.
Motion approved. Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This time we have room in our schedule for public input. Anybody that wants to address the committee, you may step to the podium and tell us and expound all you want. We do have a 5-minute limit, so, yeah. All right. Shy, aren't they? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to petitions and communications. Under A, we have the Bay County Sheriff. He's seeking approval of agreements for the school resources officers. The first one, well, we can do all three unless somebody has a problem with that.
So moved, Mr. Chair. Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support, and that's for the Pinconning, Bay City, Bangor School.
I have a question for the sheriff.
Okay, Commissioner Durancheck for the sheriff. You came just at the right time.
Yes, sir. I see that some communities wasn't listed for Bay County received some funds for security upgrades and things of that nature. Is Bay County, do we have a representative that kind of takes care of our area?
Yeah, they've got some people that have put in some of the grants. They haven't heard back yet on everything, but
Okay,
yes.
they were pretty sizable, they were nice
Yeah,
grants.
from the feds,
Okay, but I noticed that it wasn't our county, it was here on and over.
some of the others.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Now, are the individual school districts putting those in? It's not a countywide, it's just individual school
Right.
districts.
A lot of our individual, yeah. Yep, they're doing
Okay.
different districts.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next, we have the court administrator. We're looking for the grant funding for the treatment court services and putting in grants for next year's cycle.
So. Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that? Commissioner
I know
McGill?
some of us have been in treatment court. Sort of an interesting process. I got together about a month ago and see somebody graduate who's been through the process, and I was impressed with the dedication of the people putting them through. There's a lot of people that touch that one person's life to get them through the process, from the probation officer to the treatment people, the counselors, so a lot of people working on helping one person.
It seems to be working real well.
Good person.
Yeah. And they're looking to expand it too, I believe. Are they not? So, we have a motion and support. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have community corrections, fiscal year 2020, the grant funding.
So moved. Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that one? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the front of the court. It's the clear services. This is the coordination of efforts.
So moved. Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that one? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the Director of Recreation and Facilities. It's the Golf Fairway Mower. This is the, I'll just predicate, this is the one that we pass every year in anticipation that it's going to fail between board meetings. And, you know, talking to Bob a little bit earlier, you know, once the pond is dug, we'll have funds within their own line items to handle this, but until that time, later on this year, we need to be ready just in case.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support, Commissioner Ryder.
Kristen, when is that pond job, the digging of the pond supposed to start? My last communication was it was supposed to be April. Is that still on?
As soon as the contract is ready, they'd like to get started. So we're thinking within 2 weeks, they're gonna first start fencing, and then once they lift the road restrictions, then they can start work.
Will there be fencing off of, what is it, Knight Road? There's an access off of Knight as well, right? And are they going to fence that whole area in for the pond? Or just the fencing for the access off Knight?
They're gonna, we have a map of it in my file that I didn't bring to the board meeting, but as far as I can recall, they're gonna fence the, when I say fencing, I mean like safety fencing for when the work is being done, not a permanent structure, but it will be all the way around the pond.
Okay, so the permanent stuff after
It's gonna
the
be
pond
at
is
the
done.
Access.
I guess my question is, the access off Knight is kind of important, so they don't have any vehicles driving in there.
Right, the fencing, the permanent fencing is going to be at the Knight Road where access to the barn, where the maintenance barn is. That's where the permanent fencing is going to be.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kristen, we have to coordinate that with Hampton Township because they have a tower there, correct? A
Correct.
water tower, so we gotta just coordinate that, make sure everybody's got the key to the lock. Once they're all done. Anyone else? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have under F, the acceptance of the 2019 County Veterans Fund Grant in the amount of $76,149.
Move that.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Commissioner Regas.
Know that the MAC conference would give an award to Jason Wentworth from Claire Gladwin, who was one of the originators of this bill to get this legislation through. So MAC appreciated all the work he did to get funding for local counties. I think that's really the first time I've heard that the local counties got funding from the state. So it's a breakthrough. So we thank him for his dedication to doing that.
Right. Commissioner Grant.
Also mentioned was that the money went to just counties that had departments, not just a division. So, you know, I think that was one reason why we got a little bit more, because according to people that were putting on that particular breakout session, that was, you know, the reason why some people got more money like us, so.
Right, and because originally we were supposed to only get 50,000 and, or 25,000, that's right, and we got an additional, you know, 51,000.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just going to say, thanks to the board's swift approval of the proposal last December, in less than 30 days, we got a $76,000 grant. So thank the board for all that, and the staff for all the good work they're doing. So,
We'll be able to help the veterans here in Bay County with that additional money in addition to our millage money, so. Anyone else? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll gladly accept that. Animal control, contractual employee is next. What was your pleasure on that?
So moved.
Support?
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the 911 Central Dispatch, the travel request for Jeff Wheaton and Brent Rubis for Navigator 2019 Conference in National Harbor, Maryland. What is your pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that? I told Deanne they'd probably have to take me along if I wanted my vote, you know. Anyhow. All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. And I'm staying here. So. Next is health officer, the local public health opioid grant. What is your pleasure on that?
So moved.
Support?
I have a motion and support. Any discussion on that? Commissioner Brigade.
I guess we could ask Joel what we're going to spend the money on. They know yet.
The story behind the grant is last week we were approached by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Originally they intended to provide grant funds to the top 9 counties for overdoses in the state of Michigan. But what they had decided to, not all the counties wanted all the grant funds, so they called us. We were number 10, fortunately or unfortunately. With those grant funds, we will be reassembling the opiate task force that we had in place about 2-3 years ago. We're going to review our progress and from our comprehensive strategy that we put together 2-3 years ago. And one of the other things, probably the most significant, is that we're going to put together a real-time surveillance system for overdoses together, kind of like what they have in Macomb County, but really expand upon that and try to improve upon that as well, because one of the problems that we have now is that if I want, as a public health officer, if I want to analyze the amount of overdoses, we don't really get reliable information from the emergency room or some of the ambulances and EMTs. I have to also rely on 911 Central Dispatch. I contact Mr. Zwerski, but he can only give me the information for just overdoses of all drugs, so everything from aspirin to Zyrtec. So we're looking specifically for opioids and trying to improve upon our data surveillance and improve upon ways that we can get people treatment and save lives.
Anyone else? Seeing none? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the amendment number 3 to the CPBC agreement. What is your pleasure on that?
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. I just have one question. I see under hepatitis A, we're going from 5,000 to 20,000 increase, so a total of 25,000.
Well, we're going to continue our efforts to vaccinate folks in the community. If you remember last year, we are surrounded by counties that are in outbreak. We have not had an outbreak of hepatitis A yet, and we're hoping to prevent that from happening. So it's efforts again that we work with our immunization division and our clinics and provide the vaccine out to the community. We go to the jail, we go to the juvenile center, we go to the homeless centers, we go throughout the community and provide the vaccine. We'll actually be providing the vaccine next Tuesday at our open house as well, along with measles, mumps, and rubella, because there's also a measles outbreak in southeast Michigan as well. So.
And we don't have any here yet in Bay County, right?
No, and I hope not to have one case either. So.
Hope not to have one here.
No.
Stay home, don't travel, right?
Get vaccinated. That's the smart thing to do. That's the better thing.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Joel. Director of Housing, Center Ridge Arms, building Vanguard Intercom and security system. What is your pleasure on that?
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. And these funds will be coming out of the Center Ridge Arms budget. Right?
From the Castle Improvement Fund.
Right, from Center Ridge Arms.
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is Equalization Director, 2019 Bay County Equalization. What is your pleasure on that one?
Move to receive.
Support?
We have a motion and support. I see we went up in value a little bit, which is always a good thing. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, under K, we have payables for the general fund. What is your pleasure there?
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the finance officer. She has a couple items here. First is the Voluntary Employees Beneficiary Association, or VEBA, Corrective Action Plan for the General Group, Sheriff Group, and the Medical Care Facility.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that? Seeing none? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have the budget adjustments. What is your pleasure on those?
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the waste removal and recycling services. But for the county, what is your pleasure on that? That's going out for bids. So they just want the ability to go out for bids.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Commissioner Ryder.
Who is the one that is responsible for setting up the provisions in the contract? No. I mean, I've heard some of the same things some of us have heard about the recycling and where it goes, and it all goes in the landfill. You know, we've heard that stuff. So who's responsible for setting that up, and is there going to be any kind of monitoring set up in that agreement?
As in regards to the recycling portion of it
recycling,
actually being recycled instead of going to the
instead of
landfill?
just being shoved in the landfill. Okay, correct.
Because we normally pay more for recycling than we do for landfill.
Yeah, depending on the tipping fees and all that, but
So, we may be able to,
The provisions will be in the RFP as stated, and then we have an additional contract which lays out even more detail as to what we expect them to follow. We do have a provision in there that states they are to tell us in the RFP where they take their recycling as well as the other waste. So we do have that. For monitoring, we don't have monitoring set up. We just basically assure that they're taking care of it as per the contract. But if you hear anything, please let us know, and we'll definitely reach out. But we haven't heard anything that they're not following through on the contract.
okay. So if we hear something, then what do we do?
You can contact me, and
But I guess, Francis, then what do you do?
then I will contact them and ask for documents telling me where they took our recycling, where they took our trash, because they do have to keep that on file.
Thank you.
so Commissioner Ryder, do you want to see a copy of the contract?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I would also.
I can get our existing one to you.
Okay.
Thanks, Francis.
Commissioner Grant.
Just as a point of knowledge or whatever, information, I watched the program the other night on about 15 or 20 minutes about how the Chinese government is not taking any more or a lot of the recyclables from America because of the pesticides that are in it and everything else. So, I mean, there's going to come a point, I believe, that that's going to really get cut down, what they're going to actually be able to recycle. That unfortunately is going to probably end up in a landfill. it's not just, it's not just Michigan or whatever. It's an issue that's all the way across the nation with these recycling centers. So something that we have to bear in mind too when we're dealing with this company.
I think that's, the trend of what we've been talking about. We all want to see recycling prosper as far as reducing the amount of trash that goes to our landfills, because eventually landfills fill up if you keep throwing everything in. But if the recycling doesn't happen, or is limited in the future, then, I know the state also is trying to press, more people because of the amount of trash that's going into the landfill. But there's got to be places to do this and actually gain the benefit, because right now, as Commissioner Ryder brought out, does it really go, or are we just paying more for them to pick up our trash? And that's not what we want.
No, not at all.
We want it to be recycled. We want that process to start.
Because I know our departments do a very good job of recycling. When I go around, our bins are full. So our departments are doing their part, and if our waste removal is not doing their part, I need to know that immediately, and then I can take action.
Right, we went to great lengths over at the senior, kitchens, to put all those recycling bins out there, and they recycle religiously.
Yep.
Because that cut down the amount of stuff that went to the...
Our departments have stepped up, and I'm very pleased and happy that they took the recycling initiative as seriously as they did. We made sure they had the containers, and like I said, from what I know, they're filling them. So it's been a very good response from our people.
Right. And it is a good thing if, they actually follow through with it. So we just want to make sure that this company that we're going to hire is actually going to do what they say they're going to do.
You let me know, and I will do what a purchasing agent does.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, we have number 4, it's the analysis of the general fund equity. Motion to receive.
Support.
The motion to receive and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is Executive Directive 2007-11. Motion to receive would be in order.
So moved.
Support?
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that one? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the purchasing summary for 2019. Motion to receive would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion on that one? All in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So, let's see, we don't have any referrals that I know of. And I don't believe we have any unfinished business. We do have one item under new business, which is on your table, which is the indigent criminal defense contract. We'd like to award that, and then, of course, get our indigent defendants some representation, which they don't have right now.
So moved.
Support.
So we have a motion and support. And this is what we're going to be discussing at our next meeting, directly after this meeting. So, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. That's all under new business that I know of, unless someone else has something. Closed session?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Miscellaneous, anyone? Announcements? Commissioner Begay.
Several of us were at the MAC conference last week, and I see they've got it out online now, and we've got the new website up and running, so everybody who wasn't there can go online. I went to the Energy Forum on the first day, and I went to an ACES one for early childhood intervention to make sure they're developed properly or better. And then the marijuana one was the last one.
Right.
It was well attended, a lot of questions.
Yeah, every one of the breakout sessions that I attended, they were well attended. And actually, we had the most commissioners and staff ever, right? Attend a legislative conference. It was the largest one. We had over 400, commissioners and staff, throughout the state there in Lansing. And we did have the governor come see us too. Commissioner Grant.
Just a few of the other breakout sections were on equalization, the new Michigan Association of Counties app that's available, septic system code update, which was really good, and best practices in jail diversions. So these were just some of the breakout sessions that were there. And as Commissioner Lutz said, on Tuesday we had the governor as a main speaker and kind of putting forth her agenda for the 45-cent gas tax. And I think it was fairly well received. Some of the people talked, afterwards and stuff. We have little discussions and stuff on it. And at least she's attempting to put back some of the money that $500 million that was robbed from the education system in order to put currently, as she called it, road patches on the road. So it's nice to see that that's, whether it's going to be pass or what it is, you don't know, but that was her gist of her speech. I thought it was fairly well received. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Okay. Adjournment is in order.
So
There's a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.